Hello everybody, I am JayLeonardJ, and today I'm going to share with you my highlight memories as well as my favorite pieces of gear for the year 2025. Well, welcome everybody. This is my last filming day for 2025, and as per tradition, I dedicate this time for doing my yearly retrospective. This is where I go through my favorite things that I did musically in the year of 2025, and I also share with you my favorite pieces of gear, the things that kind of stuck out to me, and I want to share with all of you. Now, this is probably my most personal video of the year. You know, I kind of make this video more for when I get older, I can watch this and remember what I've been working on. So if you are just here for the gear and you just want to hear what my gear picks are, I don't blame you. You can go into the chapters below and skip right to it, so you can skip all of the chatter. But if you are interested in what I've been working on this year, let's get into it. So I started off the year, as I do pretty much every year, with the NAMM show. The NAMM show's in January. It takes place in Anaheim, and it's a big symposium of gear and everything awesome in the world. So all the different brands come down, show off their new stuff they've been working on. The different dealers from around the world are there making connections. And now it's kind of turned into a bit of an influencer event, and I absolutely enjoy it. I never miss it. There's some good memories this year. Some highlight memories. I went to the PRS anniversary party, and that was at the House of Blues, and that was cool because they had a big concert there. Mark Lettieri just killed, and John Mayer was there, which is something incredible. He played a set, and seeing him on such a small, intimate venue, what a wonderful privilege that was. That was great. But my highlight memory was they have a dealer awards show. There's an awards show at NAMM every year. They do awards for all the different, guitar stores and music shops around the world. And they asked me to be the host for that show. So I got to do the whole, I'm the host, and I brought my band down there, and, I tell the bad joke, and they do like the little musical interlude. When I was a puppy, when I was a little kid, my dream was to be like Conan O'Brien. I thought he was the coolest guy. I wanted to host a late night show. So to be able to do an awards show like that in my industry that I adore, and in front of my peers, you can't beat that. That was super, super fun. So NAMM this year was great, a real blast. Now, when I got back to Vancouver, that's when I embarked on probably one of the most terrifying and exciting things I've ever done. I was in my wheelhouse while being so outside of my wheelhouse at the same time, and it's probably one of the most proud things I've done. And that was, I had a lead role in a play. Now, I haven't acted since high school, and even when I was in high school, I wasn't getting the lead part. But what happened was a couple years ago, the music director, Mary Anchetta, called me and said, "Oh, there's this play coming. It's going to be the Canadian premiere of this show, and it's a guitar part with a little bit of acting." And she lied to me. It was actually an acting part with a little bit of guitar in it. The show is called Cambodian Rock Band, and it's a musical featuring a lot of music from a band called Dengue Fever. And if you know about that band, you'll know that it's a pretty cool music show. And it takes place in 1970s Cambodia during the time of Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge, and it's about this band, this kind of surf rock psychedelic band, and what kind of happens to them during this war, and they get separated. And yeah, my character was, oh man, he was a piece of work. So in this show, what was asked of me was I had to walk up on stage in a swimsuit, and I had to sing in Cambodian. I had to torture my friend on stage. I had to get killed on stage. So we had a fight choreographer, and I had a big fight scene, and at the end of it, I get choked to death on stage. And for someone that's never acted before, to fake choking, oh my, actually it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but maybe it's because I had the best support team in the world. The actors I was working with was really fantastic, but it was really crazy. I had to cry on stage. When you watch those movies about the war, there's always that one scene where someone loses their mind and they have this long monologue, and they go "You don't know what it's like in the war and the pain and the blood," and he's crying. That was me. That was the thing I had to do. I was the good guy. I was the bad guy. It was an absolute crazy experience. It was 3 weeks of rehearsal. When we actually got to the show, it was at the Stanley for a month. We did about 8 shows a week. and it was a grueling thing. The emotional damage was absolutely crazy. Like going all these, it was a very heavy play, really heavy themes, and really serious stuff. And it took a lot of focus, and definitely one of the most proud things I could remember ever doing. I've done theater before, but always from the perspective of the band. And it is a completely different thing when you're an actor. I have so much respect for them. And we were actually very fortunate. It was the Canadian premiere of the show. And at the end of the year, there's an award show called the Jessie Awards. And that's the Vancouver Theatre Awards. And we actually won for Best Musical. So, I'm really, really proud to be part of that, and an incredible, incredible experience. 2025 also was a monumental year for me because it was actually the year I released my first solo album. Now, I talked about the making of this album last year because that's when we actually recorded the album. But the album finally came out this year. Actually, I have it right here. The album's called Aw Man. Look at that. Actually, my kids painted this. So we bought an easel and we were all throwing paints on easels and came out with this cover. And I made it with my close friend who actually was the drummer in that play I did, Jun Kung. He was my co-writer. And we released that. And I don't even care if you like the album or not, but it would, if you would listen to that, it would mean so much to me because it's definitely one of the proudest things I've ever done. I've always wanted to do a solo album. I've written so many. I've been in the studio a ton. I've written on so many albums. I've written, songs for other artists. I've never done anything for myself. So it was a little bit of a leap, but so incredibly wonderful. And I definitely want to thank June because he was a guy that kind of forced me to make this album. He flew himself to Vancouver and was with me every step of the way. And if you want to see the making of the album, I've done some little videos about the album. I would love for you to check it out. And to release the album, we also released a music video. And the music video was a blast. We filmed that video in Hong Kong. And it was directed by Derek Fong, an incredible director. We just we filmed it on the streets of Hong Kong and in this little studio. And the actress in it was a wonderful, wonderful girl named Kate Ma. You might recognize her from Asia's Got Erica. It was Asia's Next Top Model. I think that was the show, and it was great working with her. She was a blast, very patient. Again, more acting for me for for the year, and it was cool. The whole video was just me walking around the city, and then we had this big setup on the top of a building, and we did a little concert on top of the building. Super, super fun. It turned out really, really great. It's really hard to make me look cool on camera. So all my love goes to Derek for doing such a great job with that video. And on that note, another thing that we did this year was to celebrate the album, we released a special collaboration guitar pedal. So actually, what came out not long after the album was released was this. This is the JayLeonardJ Jam Pedals Eureka Fuzz. And you can see the artwork is just like the albums. Isn't that cool? And they made a limited edition one. Each one actually has a slightly different splatter paint thing. So each one is unique to the user. So this is what my design looks like. And they're still available on the Jam Pedals website. So definitely check it out. The guts are actually untouched. So it's just a reshell. And the reason why is just because the Eureka is my favorite pedal in the Jam catalog, and it's perfect the way it is. It's wonderful. So if you don't get my version of the Eureka, just get the Eureka because it's a great, great, great pedal. You can use it with a buffer in it. You can use it with your wireless. It sounds great, and it's all over the album. So I definitely want to thank Jam Pedals for putting some love and trust into the project and the album and getting these things made. And yeah, please, I implore you, listen to the album and check out the pedals. Lots of love went into both of them, and really, really happy to share them all with you. So when it comes to all the YouTube guitar stuff, there's some really cool things that did happen this year. I went down to California to be part of the Helix anniversary party, which ended up becoming a soft launch for the Stadium XL, and it was neat to be there and see my old friends at Yamaha Guitar Group. Got a little sneak peek at a guitar, a little Revstar that they're working on for me. And I also did another YouTube thing. I went to Florida as I continue my collaboration with the No Fear Gear cats. So there's this No Fear Gear Reviews. It's another YouTube page, and they fly me down there to host a couple episodes of that. And I always love going there. Those are the best people you could possibly work with. The people behind the camera, the people in front of the camera. It is just an absolute treat to do it. And I really hope you check out their page. Really, really, really great stuff. And to add on to the collaboration, I also started a collaboration with Tapestry Music Shop. So there's a music shop in Vancouver. They have a great YouTube page, and they asked me to host a weekly video podcast. So we have a thing called Big Shiny Tones with JayLeonardJ, and it's every Thursday. I do a video with them. It started off as kind of like a news of the week kind of show, and it's kind of evolved into a little bit more guitar playing, a little bit more hanging out. We have some guests and different things, go through other people's rigs and stuff. Actually, it's really, really fun to do. I've been enjoying doing like this podcast stuff. On this page, I very rarely do like these talking videos. Like it's usually just this video. So I've really enjoyed kind of doing this video podcast thing. And it's actually spilled over onto this page. So if you notice, every month, the first Wednesday of every month, I drop off a new episode of a segment called Shop Talk. And we actually film that at Tapestry Music as well. It's with the same co-host, and it's more themed on kind of the stuff people talk about when they're in the guitar shop, what's the best fuzz pedal of all time, or what are pieces of gear that you regret selling, topics like that. And it's, again, just long form talking stuff, and I really, really enjoy it, and I hope you do too. Let me know what you think of that. Every first Wednesday of every month, we do a Shop Talk episode. Every Thursday there is a Big Shiny Tones episode on Tapestry. Really, really, really cool stuff. And it's been great just kind of expanding this page outside of this tiny little channel. In terms of the guitar gigs this year, it was another busy year when it comes to going out and performing. We did a lot of kind of award shows where I play the guitar in award show bands kind of thing. Actually, that's kind of become a thing in the last couple of years. I've been doing a lot of that. We did the home opener for the Vancouver Canucks. We were their playoff band last time they were in the playoffs, and we did the opening night this year. Heartbreaking for the Canucks this year, because I definitely did just buy a Quinn Hughes jersey not too long ago, and to see that guy, heartbreaking, but I digress. My favorite show this year actually was, I did a year-end show, so it was actually just a couple weeks ago at the Hollywood Theatre in Vancouver with the Working Royals, which is the band that I've been working on music with recently. They have a new album coming out, and they hosted this big kind of last waltz style event. So they were the band for it. There was some other bands, Jimmy and the Odds, and they asked me to do some songs off of my album, and it was a really, really wonderful way to end the year, just in a beautiful venue with your close friends playing the music that you wrote. Come on, you can't beat that. On a personal note, one event that I did work pretty hard to get to do this year was, if you know anything about me, you'll know that my hobbies, I only have two hobbies. I play golf, play a lot of golf, and I'm one of those middle-aged guys in spandex riding a road bike. And I did the Grand Fondo, the Vancouver to Whistler Grand Fondo this year, which is this epic bike ride from Stanley Park to Whistler Mountain. It was it's a long event, especially if you're familiar with the area. It's a lot of uphill. In fact, it's all uphill for like 4.5 hours. And we were having forest fires at the time too, so the air was wonderful. But I will say, I look forward to doing that every year, and I'm doing it next year, and hopefully I'll do it as long as my two legs can keep moving on a bike. And I guess that's it. Those are my favorite moments of the year 2025. So now we get to the part that you've all probably been waiting for. These are my gear picks for the year 2025. Now I have a rule, the rule that I've been following for years and years, and that is it has to be, in order to be considered for my top picks, it has to be something that I've played. It has to be a piece of gear I've spent time on. So yes, every year there is that really big highlight thing that everyone's talking about, everyone's going crazy over. I'm not going to put it on my list. I don't want this to be like a spec comparison, or like, this sounds good on paper, but I haven't tried. We're not doing that. These are, from my perspective, the things that stood out the most to me. So we'll start off with my favorite guitar of the year. So I have a really close runner-up. I think my runner-up would be the Gibson Les Paul Custom 1970s, the Les Paul that I have been waiting for years and years and years. I'm a big Norlin era guy, and for years, those were not cool at all. But as time goes by, you start realizing that the things that were uncool were actually really, really cool. And I'm really glad that it became cool because I've been waiting for this guitar. It is a Les Paul Custom that's actually very reasonably priced. And it has a 3-piece plain maple top. But what really makes it special for me is it has the 70s style pickups and that maple neck. So it has, instead of a mahogany neck, has that maple neck. And that neck has a volute on it, so that headstock is going to be on much more solid. If anyone of you out there have had their headstock break on a Gibson Les Paul, trust me, there's a lot of you. You don't have to worry about it as much with the new 1970s. I love the way those sounds. They're very clear. There's authoritative. They're heavy. And they're awesome. If you want a Les Paul to make you stand out a little bit, outside of the typical 1950s styled ones, this would be the pick. They look cool. Get the wine red one. That's a cool color. Or black. Black is always good with the Les Pauls. But I'm so happy they released that guitar. I'm so happy that those kind of guitars are popular now. But as much as I like it, I think the winner in my eyes actually would be a series of guitars. And that would be Fender released the American Professional Classic series. Now, it is a replacement for their American Performer series, but I will say I was blown away by these guitars. So the old Performer series, they are the cheaper. I think they're the cheapest American Fender you can get. So now there's no more Performer. It's American, what's it called? I'm looking at the floor here. Professional Classic. They got rid of the satin finishes, which is great. It's shiny finishes, which they should be. Fender guitars look beautiful when they're shiny and they look more luxurious. They have the medium jumbo frets. A trend that I'm so happy is cool. 10 years ago, it was all about the tall frets, and me being a particularly heavy-handed player, I could never stay in tune on those. So the medium jumbos, you can rip it a little tighter, and you can bend really easily. They're the perfect frets. I love the way those are. So the fact that they have that, and some really, really cool mods. The pickups sound great on the entire series. They have the grease bucket tone knob, which I really, really like. The ones that stick out to me would be the Jaguar. It's nice to see an American-made Fender Jaguar that's not a Johnny Marr. Although I believe it's practically a Johnny Marr. It has a lot of mods, the 3-way switch that the Johnny Marr has. Both the Jazzmaster and the Jaguar get rid of the rhythm circuit. So it's, definitely trimming some of the fat on these models. But I think from a playability standpoint, from a tonal standpoint, they are everything I would want in a Fender guitar. Now, Fender released a more expensive line. I believe it's called, what is it called? The American Ultra Luxe whatever. And that's the most expensive model. I would actually, if I had a pick of any Fender not custom shop guitar, I still would pick this series over here, the cheaper series. I like the finish better than the heirloom finish. And I think it's all you need. I'm very impressed. For that price point, for what you're getting, I'm very satisfied. That would probably be my favorite guitars of the year. Up next is Sequel of the Year. So every year, a company will come up with an update to a design, either to address some issues with the design or maybe to give people some features that they've been asking for with the original. I do have some runners-up. One would be the Catalinbread Belle Epoch Plus. This has been a long-standing, a classic tape style echo. What really makes this stand apart, there's quite a few little updates to it, but the ones that stand out for me is the tap tempo. People have been asking for that for a long time, but the one that I like the most is the upgraded preamp. Reason why people like Echoplex, like tape delays, is actually the preamp, and they were able to squeeze more of that preamp magic in here. And so when the pedal's on and off, it's like extra delicioso, right? Really, really cool pedal. Another one is the Two Notes. Two Notes came out with the Reload 2, which is their reamp box that actually acts as an amplifier as well. So you can plug your guitar amp into it, and you can either make your loud amp quiet or your quiet amp louder. It has the Two Notes technology in there too, so you could get those different IRs and different cab simulators. It's a really great update, really beautiful looking piece of equipment too, in the same vein as something like the Boss Tube Amp Expander in terms of its functionality. But if you like that Two two notes ecosystem, that would definitely be the pick for you. But I think my number one pick for sequel of the year, and I think this comes as no surprise, it's this one over here. This is the Helix Stadium XL. Now, now it might sound like I'm a little bit biased because I did go to the unveiling for it, but this is, I think most people can agree, this was a big deal when this came out, and I like this, not so much because it sounds better than the old Helix, because we're now at a point here with the technology that it all really sounds good. They all sound good. What really makes it stand out is how easy it is to program. With the old Helix, I always used the app. With this new one, I could do everything via the touchscreen. The search features are outstanding. The focus view, your ability to tweak different amp parameters at the same time very quickly, is so intuitive. It is so fast to come out with great sounds here. So yes, there's a lot of cool little features. They have all these clip things, and they have this transport feature, and they have the new, all these, there's a clock and a stopwatch. All of that's cool. The upgraded Angora, that's all cool. What really comes down to is, can you come up with great sounds very quickly? This does it, and I think that's why it's probably my favorite of the high-power modelers out there right now, just based on the fact that it sounds great, it's easy to use, and if you ever do need a feature, it's in here somewhere. So very, very cool. I'm very impressed with it. That's the Helix Stadium XL. Deep down in my heart, everyone knows I'm a big lover of fuzz pedals. I am crazy about them. That is the thing I'm addicted to, and every time a new fuzz pedal comes up, my ears perk up and I get excited. So I always have to do a fuzz pedal of the year. Now, I could give it to my pedal, and I want to give it to my pedal, but I'm not going to do that because, one, this is actually, the Eureka's been out for a long, long time. So this is just a reskin. And two, come on, I already talked about this. It's not fair. I'm going to give it to something else. And it's a fuzz that maybe a lot of you you might have looked over, because there was a lot of really, really great fuzzes out here. But here's one that really stood out to me, and that's this one. This is the Wampler Cryptid fuzz. And this is an absolutely fun pedal to use. What's nice about this is it's a completely original design. So it's a new design. It's not an update of a fuzz face or an update of a big muff with some new features. This is a new kind of sound, a new texture. But at the same time, it is incredibly familiar. It's incredibly versatile. And it's so well designed. I don't even think there's transistors in this thing. But it has, you can go from really loose and sputtery kind of sounds to really tight and harmonically rich, almost distortion. If it wasn't for that little bit of sandpaper in the background, it could be like muffy, it could be fuzz facey, it could be tone bendery. There's a lot of different directions it goes. It does fit into the camp of, a fuzz for people that maybe grew up on overdrives and distortions and likes a little bit more predictability. So it does have a little bit more predictability to it, but it's a very, very well-voiced pedal. It's buffer safe. You can do a lot of great dialing in of sounds. If you have a session and you're not quite sure what to bring with you, and you just want a fuzz that can kind of touch on anything, this would be a really, really good pick. I was very, very surprised by how much I enjoyed this, and it's something you should check out. You should check it out. It's the Cryptid Fuzz by Wampler Pedals. And finally, we get to my last pick, my Gear of the Year pick for 2025. And this one actually was a pretty easy one for me, because what happened was, ever since I got this thing, I've been continually using it. And that's how you know it's something that's good. It is very practical. It sounds very, very nice. It's really, really fun to use. It is the Tone King Imperial Preamp. So what this is it's an amp. It's a guitar amp. If you know Tone King amps, they make one called the Imperial, and it's their take on the Fender Blackface Deluxe as well as a Tweed Deluxe. It has reverb, it has tremolo, and this thing is the pedal version of that. There's some tubes in there. It has cabinet simulation IRs. It has the reverb and the tremolo, and it has you can even save 3 different cabinet presets. You have some save features in it. It's a really, really fun pedal, and it sounds very, very good. And when I say I've been using it consistently, I mean like usually when I'm trying out new pedals, I've been just, when I'm doing the research part before I start filming the videos for you, I've just been kind of plugging this into my computer and putting the pedal out there and, working on it that way, because it sounds great, and it's a wonderful pedal platform. It responds like how I would want an amp to respond. It breaks up where it's supposed to break up. It does the things it's supposed to do, so it gives me an accurate representation. And it's just so incredibly versatile. You can use this in so many different ways. There's an effects loop. It's a great thing to just have in your bag if something goes down, if there's an emergency. So I actually made a video which I'll be posting I think next week or so on. I actually compare this to the original Tone King Imperial, and I will say they compare incredibly well. The only difference I heard was in the power amp design. So the power amp in this thing, a little bit more hi-fi, a little bit more full fidelity, so it's not going to break up as quick. The real Tone King Imperial gets a little rattier sounding when you push the power amp. This one stays a little bit tighter, so the clean channel stays clean a little bit longer, and the distortion channel doesn't get as saggy. It's a little bit more of a sharper sound. That being said, I'm very impressed with this. I have been using this personally a lot, and if it's something that I'm using personally a lot, and it's been something that I always reach for, I haven't put it back in the box after I got it, it's something that I have to put on the list. No, so much to the point where I will say this is my favorite piece of gear for the year 2025. Well, that is it. That is the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe to the page if you haven't done so, and check out the links in the description below, because it really, really does help out. Now, if you want to support the page, you could check out my Patreon, of course. I just really want to say Happy New Year's to all of you. I really appreciate all of you out there that take the time to watch the videos. There's so much stuff on the internet today. So many people sharing their opinions about gear, playing gear, and the guitar players every year are getting better and better and better, as they're supposed to be. Every generation's supposed to be better than the last. That's what we want. And the fact that you still take the time to watch my videos and support this page, it profoundly means so much to me. So thank you, the people that watch the page. Thank you to the people that the brands that support the page and share their gear, the people that reach out to me with questions, and all my peers, all the other content creators and musicians and collaborators and guitar players and drum, all of you out there. It's an absolute privilege to share my love of guitar with you, and I want to do it as long as possible. That being said, Happy New Year's. I'll see you all soon. Take care, and goodbye.